Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Steven here. Welcome back to the Fan View Live as well. I've just lost, can't hear myself in the headphones for whatever reason. Are you all good? Are you all well? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can. I seem to be having connection issues. Anyway, welcome back. Are you all good? Are you happy? Are you well? City, of course, have just beat Fulham 5-1 in a comprehensive display of football at the Etihad Stadium. It was an awful lot of fun. I can't hear myself annoyingly, which is weird. I normally can do. Can you guys hear me? Do I sound good? Do I sound all right? Fingers crossed I can, because if I can't hear myself, it implies maybe my headphones aren't working. And my headphones aren't working, I won't be able to chat to anyone, so I need to sort that out. It was a great day. It was a really good day of football. And most importantly for me, of course, we saw Haaland hat-trick. I took my son for this first game, which was absolutely wonderful. Lovely, lovely stuff. I can hear it now. This is the Fan View Live, where, of course, I chat to some of you guys to let me know what you thought of the game. Because, of course, there's plenty of talking points after a game like that. If you want to get on, don't forget, I do keep it open to members and Patreons. You can find the link, if you're a member, over in the community tab. It's in the pinned comment as well in this chat. So all you got to do is sign up and help support the channel. It doesn't matter. It is massively appreciated, of course. And jump on your webcam or not, just a voice will do, and come have a chat with me and loads of other blues as well. It's always a good fun, and we can chat about anything you want to chat about as well. So, it's all good. Hello to everyone in the chat. Don't spam, of course, as well. Hello to Golden Rivaldo from Namibia. Don't spam, my friend. It's all good. I accidentally pinned your comment there, Oliver, instead of mine. I'm going to replace that, but I do appreciate it, man. Did you enjoy today as well, guys? Did you enjoy today? I'm going to go over to Naz in a second, but Naz, I'm going to add you to the stream, mate, but you won't be on air because I've got to do some editing in the background. So when you're on, don't worry, I'll introduce you when I say it, if that's all right. If you got that, let me know with a thumbs up in the stream yard if you can hear. Okay, so Naz will be on in a second. I've just got to sort of line him up on my graphics, but of course I want to know what you thought of the game. I always do. I enjoyed it, but there's many stories that you can get from a game like today. It's not always going to be plain sailing. But I still thought City had some pretty decent moments. But did you? That's what I want to know. That's why the Fan View Live is here for you guys to have a chat. I'm nearly done editing. One second, hang on. I'm nearly done editing. I want to make sure I can see Naz nice and clear, and then I'll jump onto the video call with him. So what I'm doing right now is I'm editing it so he's lined up in my little kind of boxes where I can have everyone on screen. Anyway, I think that should just about be working. Hang on, a little bit more editing, and then we should be good to go. Right, Naz, I'm going to jump over to you. I think you're already on live. You already are live. I was on the wrong screen. Is there? Sorry, mate. You're on screen. There you go. Apologies about that. Naz is on screen. How you doing, mate? You good? You well?
Yeah, I'm good.
Did you enjoy the game?
Yeah, it was a good game. The first half was, not that good, but the second half was especially great, especially the last 20 minutes was just really quite good, seeing the academy players and everyone just link up and add a couple more goals to it.
Yeah, what was the story of the game for you today? Like, what was the overall headline? If you had to choose one today, what was the standout feature of this game today?
Standout feature, I would say probably just the performances of Gomez, and although it was only 5-10 minutes, but Gomez and Oscar Bob, so it was just a couple of good moments. Probably that was a good thing, and I also the fact that despite not being near our best, we won 5-1. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's always useful, isn't it? Because I don't think we played that well, but there's this idea that Haaland can't do it without De Bruyne, which is obviously not true. It's obviously not true. The guy can, if you create chances, he's going to score goals. And I think it's pretty obvious that he's going to score an awful lot of goals this season as well. I think he's got the same as he did last season, 6-4 already.
yeah,
and
the same record also, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's
2 goals, then
is it that? Yeah, 2 goals, 1 goal, and a hat trick. That's lovely
yeah.
stuff, isn't it? It was quality finishes as well, weren't they? That's the thing, is like it's not
Yeah,
as if
the
they were
last
easy.
one especially.
Is that your
That
favourite?
first touch right at the corner, yeah. That goal, it's as a whole was just brilliant. The good play between Lewis and Gomez, and then that dribble and cutback by Gomez was great. And then that finish by Haaland, I think, is probably underrated. It's harder than it seems because it was his first time and right in the corner of the
Yeah.
goal.
he makes it look easy, doesn't he, Erling? But that isn't easy, you know.
And
We
also the
know
fact that you asked me the main point of the game and I did not mention Haaland despite him scoring a hat trick is just crazy as well.
that's Erling things, though, isn't it? Haaland does that. He has that.
Yeah.
You sort of take it for granted that he's just going to do something wonderful. I mean, I think that if this was 12 months ago, we'd be bouncing up and down because we were like, oh my god, look what we signed. But now it's just sort of a normal day at the office for him. And there was always this narrative. There was this narrative before the season started that maybe he'll be found out, and everyone will understand how to play against him. You just look. All you need to do is create chances, and there's nothing you can do to stop Haaland if you create chances. And that sounds really obvious, but City will never not create chances. We have too much of the ball. We've got too many good players, and he's going to score absolutely loads. But let's talk a little bit about the, of course, that last 20 minutes, because after in a week where we sold quite a few players, let a few academy lads go, it feels the fact that saw Bob come on, Rico Lewis, Gomez, Calvin Phillips as well. They all had nice little cameos, didn't they? All of them, and like, do you feel reassured by that personally?
Yeah, those last 20 minutes, as I said, I enjoyed those a lot. And for like, I couldn't help but think of Palmer and McAtee. If they were there, they were definitely going those minutes. But especially Bob, that one dribble he did. I was hoping he would have shot there because why not? We were up 4-1 and whatnot. But anyway, generally his performance, I mean, more than his performance, just that one dribble was quite encouraging. And the performances of, I thought Calvin Phillips was decent today. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't do much, obviously, but just better than what he usually looks. Gomez also, in his, that's not like a slight on him. It's
And
just
it's funny. It's true.
gonna
You're right. It
be,
just sounded like it wasn't.
yeah,
But
yeah,
we
and
need him, don't we? We need him to be decent. And I don't know what it was about today, but he just looked decent actually. Like, he looked a little bit more alert, a little bit alive, and it's been a weird narrative around him. I mean, I would love a redemption story. I don't know how much minutes he's going to get because obviously Nunes is coming as well. But we're going to need him at some point, aren't we?
yeah. Honestly, I don't think he's gonna have much of a redemption arc. I think he'll just be like a squad player rotation, maybe leave after this season, maybe couple of seasons. I don't think he's going to be like a major City player, but generally it's just good to have him around and see some promising signs. Maybe he might have a redemption arc, or even if not, he might just be a useful rotation player.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean, that's the thing is like either of them work. It's better than what we expected, where we didn't think he was going to play at all. And I don't know how much he's done well in training, or it's Pep's idea, or it's Juan Malila, whatever. But I feel like it could be really smart. Whoever's idea it was, it could be really smart today to bring on Phillips instead of Nunes. Because he was there waiting to come on, and would have made his home debut. It would have been easy for him because all he would have to do is walk around the pitch. We're winning 4-1 at this point. But to bring Phillips on, I thought was a really nice, really smart idea. Really intelligent idea by whoever came up with it, because it's sort of like a show of faith, wasn't it, for him? And like giving him that chance when they could have easily just left him on the stands and brought on the £55 million signing. I like that touch. What did you make, of course, of the overall performance? Like, obviously it was of Jerry Doku. Obviously it wasn't like a standout performance, but it was his debut. Did you see any encouraging signs?
yeah, his passing was a bit sloppy, but that's fine. This is the first game. We're not really paying much attention to that. There was like one part where he took on the defender, went to the byline, put a cross in, which is decent, which is the kind of stuff you'd want to see from him.
Yeah.
So overall, it was like average, maybe even below average, 4 or 5 out of 10 performance. But like, I'm not reading too much into it. It's just his first game, and quite a few of our players are sloppy today, so that obviously doesn't help either.
No, I think that's. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, there was a few sloppy performances. Are you concerned about that, or do you think are you quite relaxed about that?
No, no, not concerned at all. We'll we have a nice break for the international break. Pep will be back. We'll have a few more training sessions. I'm sure after after the break we'll come back ready and start to get to our best. Because
Yeah, I
without
think so
any,
too.
we'll wait. I think there'll be one more international break after this, right?
I have no idea, mate. I can't. Off the top of my head, I haven't really
Yeah,
looked that far forward. I mean, there will be another one definitely, but
yeah. So probably maybe after that one we'll be at our absolute best. But yeah, I'm sure it's nothing to be too worried about.
yeah. No Grealish today, of course. I'm not sure what's wrong with him. I think there's an injury, isn't there, or something like that. Do you think that it
Yeah,
affected City's build up a little bit in the first half because we were,
yeah,
City played differently. I would say it didn't feel like we. I don't know if it was like a Grealish, but we definitely felt a little bit rigid in the first half.
yeah. I think like Grealish was a big factor. We didn't at Pausa, we didn't seem to have it as much. It was much more, direct, and we had lots of misplaced passes in the first half. So
Yeah,
I definitely think we missed Grealish, and also Bernardo also didn't play. So like Doku, Alvarez, Foden
yeah,
together as they're not as much of a keeping the ball kind of players. They're more direct. So yeah, that's why I think the first half was a bit sloppy. But the second half, well, we came out with the same team and we still did quite a bit better. So it's not like we can't play without Grealish. And I mean, from what the coach has seen, I think Lilo said that he's a doubt for England, which means I'm sure he'll probably be, even if he doesn't play for England, he'll be back after the break. So
yeah.
not a big injury.
I think that's correct. Like a doubt implies it's just one of those things where they're not sure, which means he's not that injured. So I think he will be back. Thank you so much, mate. It's a pleasure to chat to you as always. I'm going to jump over to Guy, and I'll catch you very soon, man. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Superstar Naz. Of course, helping support the channel there. Sorry, my headphones. I think they like the cables going, which is making it disconnect an awful lot. So if I don't hear you when you're chatting to me, it's because of that. But anyway, people did ask how you joined. I do keep it only open to members and patrons because it's just sort of like my way, of course, of filtering it for people that I know that aren't going to be just trolling me, basically. Though if you do want to sign up and troll me, you go for it. Good on you. You have fun if you want to. Of course, as well. This is sort of just like a quality control thing as well. It's good to have a chat to people. I'm going to go over to Guy in a second. 1 second. Let me just add Guy to the stream. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, mate. Good evening. Is it evening yet or afternoon? I don't even know. What do you call quarter 7? Evening, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, I guess it would qualify. For me, it's like 8:45. So.
Oh, okay. Whereabouts are you based?
It is evening. Sorry.
Whereabouts are you based? Sorry.
Oh, Israel.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I was going to guess, but well, it's evening for you. I mean, quarter 7 for me. I'd say it's evening. It's just bright still and sunny, so it doesn't feel like it.
Anyway. For some people, it's bedtime.
Well, yeah, like my son and I'm getting away with it because I'm working, so I don't have to do all that stuff. I love Ruben, but it's nice when I don't have to do the whole bath and bed routine. I can get away with it. Not that I'm whispering quietly so they don't hear me downstairs. Anyway, good evening. Of course, City just 1-5-1, mate. What was your verdict on that game? Quick summary.
I think my verdict is very different from most reactions that I've seen. Is that I actually thought we were excellent. Genuinely,
Excellent.
I thought we played really, really well. I thought this was a great game, considering, the people who were injured, Grealish, Stones, KDB, considering the time of the season, considering Pep Guardiola is lying on his bed somewhere, hasn't had to train with the team, face to face for a week, 10 days now.
A debutant as well.
A debutant in Doku. I mean, I thought I expected a lot worse, and I thought the second half was vintage. I thought we were just on our game the second half. The goals that we scored too, I mean, the first goal, the third goal, the fourth goal, the fifth goal, they were all really high quality goals as well. I mean, obviously one of them was a penalty, but the play to get the penalty was fantastic. So that really, really encourages me because I thought that for the first 3 games we were sort of missing, the goals, the chance creation, the patterns of play that would result in a high quality goal. And in this game, I definitely did see them a lot. I mean, we were very clinical as well. I think we converted most of our chances, which is, again, fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. I think people need a little bit of perspective, and
always.
In that, you need to go and watch some of the other teams that are supposedly fighting for the title, like Chelsea, like United, like Arsenal, and realize we are surrounded by clowns, and we are so much better than anyone else.
Yeah, they really are, mate. They're terrible, aren't they? They are. We've won we're going to win the league. I've got 0.
We're gonna win I have so much confidence we're gonna more than I've had in previous seasons. Not because we look that much fantastic, that good, but because we look so much better than everyone else.
That's the thing. We look like a team, and everyone else looks like a mess scrambling around for an identity. The only one, I mean, there's moments of quality, of course, and Liverpool got a lot of quality, Arsenal got a lot of quality. Chelsea United, Spurs have got quality as well, but they haven't got the depth. They haven't got the. But Arsenal
so
Liverpool
far
have quality,
Spurs
but don't know.
Spurs have looked like the most serious ones. I think I won't be surprised if they'll challenge against us for the title, but I do think like we'll win a double digit easily. And also looking across Europe, I'm not seeing like fantastic football. Real Madrid barely won. They seem to rely on Bellingham every week.
He's
Apparently,
doing well there. Fair play,
it's yeah. I mean, he's an amazing player. I wish we had him, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I think Bayern are not playing fantastically. Dortmund, obviously. Barca are drawing every match. Like,
Are you saying
even
we're going to win a
across
treble, guy?
Europe.
You're saying we're going to win a treble again? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's a difficult challenge.
Look, mate, I'll be honest. Just say
personally,
it.
I'm going for the quadruple.
Just say it, because then
Newcastle,
no one will remember, and then I can clip it up and say, look, this guy was a genius. Like on September 2nd, he called it.
I mean, I might as well say we're going for the quadruple then, right?
But you know what? I think
actually it'll be a septuple because we already won the Super Cup.
Yeah, that quintuple, isn't it?
Quintuple.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh,
we can also win the Club World Cup, so that would be a septuple.
Oh, it would be septuple. What's seven? What if we won 7?
I think 6 is sextuple and 7 is septuple.
Yeah, I think you're right. Sextuple, then it would be for sexy football. Sextuple, that would be really nice, wouldn't it? Like, I wouldn't put it past us. I don't think we will do, because we're going to go wrong somewhere at some point. Like, there'll be injuries, tiredness, and whatever. But
I mean, some players will have to step up, like they did today in the last 20 minutes or so.
Talk to me about that, man. Were you like I honestly I get goosebumps regularly watching the City side, mainly because I just get excited when I see like little moments of not unexpected, but like affirmative moments, like affirmation, where you see little moments of like, oh yeah, that like I know like Pep would have been buzzing for that last goal, and I think they all were, because it's like, oh, we brought on these players. And everyone, someone replied to saying, no, yeah, but the game was dead, blah blah blah. Cast your minds back to last season. The amount of times we brought on the B team, so to speak, and the performance standard did drop. It just did, and we were seeing sloppy goals here and there. And a couple of times we were hanging on for our dear lives when we brought on Gomez and Phillips and that. And that sounds cool, but it was just true. It was just true. Like, this time, if anything, the level of football stayed good. Oscar Bob looked good. Calvin Phillips completed all his passes, played 2 long passes, had a nice little turn dribble in the centre of the pitch. Rico Lewis buzzed about as Rico Lewis does. Sergio Gomez just looked like a winger, an actual good winger, and got a beautiful assist, which was probably his highest moment of skill I think I've seen in a City shirt, because there was a confidence to it that wasn't, that felt instinctive. That felt different to last year. Do you agree on that?
Yeah, so one of the things that I, have to begrudgingly accept with Pep is that if we are 3-4-0 up and we put on, the reserves, not just the performance drop, but the entire team intensity drop. They don't really look to score any more goals, and I am a person that really likes personal accolades. So if Haaland is on 2 goals, I want him to score the third one. I'm obsessed with him to get another hat trick. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but like, I love knowing that a player just scored a hat trick.
There's logic behind it, though. There's logic behind it, because there's a fear factor to it, and the more submissive teams are, the more they sit back, the more likely you are to win. So I think there's something to be said for obviously there's a purely mathematical quality to it in terms of like goal difference matters, it does, and it but I still think if City are racking up 4-5-0 wins in September or whatever, this scares teams. it sort of makes everyone else feel a bit hopeless. Like, if Arsenal are looking over and they're struggling for a point against Fulham, and then we're beating them 5-1 at home, that of course that matters, and it does matter. And Haaland's more confident because he's grabbed his third of the game and his first hat trick. I think I think the accolades and the personal stuff. Good players having personal accolades means they're more confident, especially if they've got the right ego, which they have. I think you're right with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I understand why Pep does it, right? Because we need to maintain our squad. It's one of the reasons why we can maintain a smallish squad. Is if we are comfortable ahead in a match, we do take down the intensity to not tire the players. But I don't know. Personally, I just love the fact that it was the 90 whatever minute, and the players that came on looked so hungry to score. Looked so hungry to provide Haaland with that hat trick. Bob, Gomez, Phillips. I really liked Phillips' cameo. I thought he looked sharp. Honestly, I thought I thought he didn't look heavy on the ball, which is one of the criticisms that I
I agree. He looked
majorly
light-footed,
have
didn't he?
for him. Yeah. He looked sort of glided through the
Do
pitch,
you know what it
and
reminded me
it's a
of?
very good.
Did you ever play? Sorry to interrupt, mate. Did you ever play Pro Evolution Soccer years ago?
Yeah, of course.
Did you ever play the thing where you had like the career mode where you had like the players that give you like Ivanov and Castillo and all that, and you had like then you eventually got better players, but yeah, be given a midfielder who was like 60 ability and they're really slow and trudged about. He reminded me of that last year, where everything was like looked like it was just running on low physicality and low energy, and all your players on tired mode. You know, in FIFA with a knackered. That's what Calvin Phillips reminded me of last year. Everyone was just slow, which I was surprised by.
Yeah, it's sort of the feeling like you're playing football after having a burger. It's like you're just a little bit like, it's everything you just requires that little bit extra, and it's not like you're making mistakes. It's just that it seems like you are
Really intrigued,
extorting
yeah.
a lot more energy than it should be to do simple stuff. This game, I think he looked a lot lighter. I think he looked really happy. I think he looked really happy to be celebrating a goal, not as a sub, but as a player on the pitch. I actually noticed that, and I really think it's positive stuff. Listen, this player, the Gomez's, the Bobs, the Phillips, they're gonna have a major uh, part in our squad this season. People disregard this, but if they together can take 2,000 minutes or 3,000 minutes or however many minutes, that's one less player. Like that's one less first 11 player. That's 500 less minutes for Rodri. That's 1,000 less minutes for this player. I really do think that people disregard those things. I think it's very important. I've not given up on any of them. Gomez, I've actually never been like a hater of Gomez. I
Yeah, same.
always said no. He has. I see it with him, not as a left back, but I see a Man City quality player for him.
Well, he's obviously a good footballer. That's the thing. Is like you've only got to look at his credentials and his pedigree. You know, like this. It was just he had it. He had that. Obviously, Vinny did that weird experiment with him, and he's just clearly not a left back. He's clearly attacking midfielder, and that's what he is. And you don't become like Spain under 21's best player, which he was for genuinely, without having talent. It's impossible to be. To reach a final, you're under 21s, be Spain's best player, get the golden ball, and not be talented. He's obviously going to have technical ability. It remains to be seen if he can find a role in this team. But I think it's worth remembering that this guy wants to be here. This guy's literally a Man City fan. We don't talk about this because we forget about it. But this guy this photos of him wearing a City shirt when he was like 10 years old. Like I don't know why he's a City fan. I think but he is. You know, he's a City fan, and and that's so he obviously wants to be here. And I think we just sort of go quiet and forget about him a little bit. But that cameo today, it looked confident, didn't it? That was the thing for me. It looked confident. That pass was lovely by the way to Haaland. Like the skill was good, but the pass was crisp.
The assist he gave the pass, that's one of the he used to do that every game for Anderlecht. If you watched his Anderlecht highlights, that sort of assist where he appears almost at the end of the pitch, like almost near the goal line, and cuts it back to striker at the end of at the edge of the box. That happens so often for Anderlecht, and I guess for City he didn't have that position when he was playing left back. I do think that's one of his main strengths, the cutback. So I wasn't surprised that he picked him.
There was David Silva qualities to that cutback actually, and that sounds a bit crazy, but there was David Silva was the master of the half space. The amount of times you see David Silva kind of drift into that channel near the byline and just cut it back to someone crisply, perfectly onto their foot. Wonderful stuff. Go on.
What did you think about Alvarez's performance?
Alvarez is a weird one. But what I love about Alvarez is I feel like some players are just attracted to success. Like success is attracted to them, sorry. And Alvarez is just I think the reason managers love Alvarez is one because he's a very good player, but two, I think it's because things happen around him. They just do, and I don't think he's always the smoothest player, and I think he's learning a new role, which is so it's totally understandable that his link-up play is always not perfect. But he's just there, and he just makes things happen. He just wins penalties. He just gets assists. He scores a goal, of course, today. You know, and I think there's when you haven't got a De Bruyne on, De Bruyne is a magic moments player, and my general view of people like De Bruyne, they increase your chances of winning the game because they can do something special. We haven't got De Bruyne is the best in probably the world at that, best in the league at that right now. But Alvarez has a little bit of that about him too. I really believe that. I think that goal the other day against Newcastle when you pinged it in the top corner out of nowhere, that was a bit of magic, and I think he's got. Alvarez has got a scrappiness and a rasping shot and a knife of goal where he just sort of makes things happen by his sort of brilliance and also his intelligence. So I don't think he's the most fluid player yet, but I think he's a really nice foil for Haaland that creates space for Haaland, that creates chances for Haaland, that also can finish chances from impossible angles. I think he's really valuable. So right now, I'd say he's an extremely effective 7.5 out of 10 player for us. Like I think he could be better a little bit, but I don't think he really has bad games. He has very effective ones. Soon, I think he'll have a game where his passing will be 90%. He'll link everything up, and I don't think he's quite there yet, but that's how I feel about him. I think he's just very efficient in terms of making things happen and so on. And yeah, what's the reason you asked that question? How do you feel about him?
Because I think a lot of people are sort of looking at him, and I'm hearing a lot of criticism about his game. I think people don't like the Haaland Alvarez them starting together.
They get a lot of goals.
Yeah, and I don't fully get the skepticism, because I think it's not like immediately easy to spot, but I think they have a very, very good partnership. It's just that they don't get a lot of touches, both of them, and it's sort of hard to explain. I think a lot of people are waiting for when we draw or lose a game, and I can guarantee you most of the fire will go to that direction. Why are we starting both Alvarez and Haaland, start Foden down the middle, whatever. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's working. I don't think it's a coincidence that we're 12 out of 12. I think there's something there. I think Pep really likes it. I don't think he does it out of necessity, out of squad necessity. I don't think he's. I've heard people say he's forcing Alvarez into the team.
Nah, he's got too many good players to do that. I don't think Pep just wouldn't play him if he didn't think it was working. You know what he's doing, to my opinion? I don't think it's fully happened yet, but it's like doing last season when he kept playing that formation and everyone was moaning, and he was like, I know more than the Twitter guys. And he was waiting for it to gel. Like, I think right now we're seeing sheer brute effectiveness from those two. I don't think it's fully clicked yet, but I think Pep's obviously got an idea in mind. He obviously has, And I think I would guess his idea is that Alvarez could sort of develop into a Thomas Muller kind of player where he's sort of good at dropping deep, because he's got a really good passing range, Alvarez. Like, he's too erratic with it, but he's got a really nice pass, when he kind of picks up, gets his head, and he doesn't always find them, but he's very capable of pinging lovely little passes and through balls, and obviously he's got a goal threat too. But I feel like I think he likes the space that Haaland is afforded by Alvarez's presence, because it obviously works, and I think when you've got like such a stoic kind of back line, and we are a relatively pragmatic side that way, we're not a high volume chance team usually. We're not like a 30 chance, 25 chance game. We're normally like a 10 chance where 7 of them are really good. And I think if you've got people like Alvarez who Haaland can finish, that's attractive, because we've gone years with wasting chances with Sterling and Jesus and so on. Any manager in world football is drawn to a person who can finish and gets assists and gets goals. And someone said in the chat, it's not working. Pep's keeping Alvarez warm. I mean, it is working. We just won 5-1. I mean, like, that is the definition of working. Like, the results. I mean, obviously, I don't think Alvarez is probably going to play Liverpool, for Liverpool. I think he'll probably play Bernardo Silva and Foden and whatever. But like, that is only, those kind of games are only 5% of the season. Like, there's an awful lot of football around it. Like, and if you can play Alvarez and win 5-1, it's working.
How can it not working when he got a great goal by combining with Haaland?
Yeah.
Okay? Got a great assist by combining with Haaland. Both of the goals were like combinations of our two strikers, and got a penalty. Like, how is it not working?
I don't know. I think people. I don't know. People. I understand the pursuit for perfection, but like, I just got to go. Oh, top of the league. We won 4 out of 4. They've started together. It hasn't always been perfect, but it's working. Evan Ferguson hat-trick, by the way, 3-0. But yeah, he's a real deal, isn't he? That's a Haaland regen right there.
Newcastle are
getting battered.
Really underwhelming this season.
Really maybe they'll finish bottom of that group after all that.
Yeah, I suspect they'll be shocked with what the Champions League has to offer.
Guy, I'm going to go and help the wife get the little guy to bed. Thank you so much for chatting to me, mate. It's been a pleasure as always. Catching a bit, my friend.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Guys, thank you for joining me for the Fan View Live. It's massively appreciated. I enjoyed that loads. Of course, you can watch my match reaction if you want to. Subscribe, of course, as well. It does help support the channel. I'm at 68,258 as we're watching this video. I want to get to 70k. I can't do it. You can do it. Tell your mum, tell your mum's dog, tell your best mate, tell everyone, the postman, tell everyone to subscribe to the Steam Company. It is appreciated, you know. For now, though, have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go and be a good family man, be a good dad. Love you all loads. In a bit, come on, you treble winners. Bye-bye.